Greetings everyone, this is Marcus Toole and I'm in my home orchard, and I want to talk about the pruning I did on my Toole's Heirloom improved Chickasaw plum tree. Toole's Heirloom is a very disease resistant cultivar of the native Chickasaw plum. The plums are golf ball size. They ripen in early to mid-June. It's of my mature trees that have produced before. This is the latest one. Now I think McKibben, which is going to produce for the first time this year, is a little later. But this is still a very late variety for Chickasaw. I'm not going to prune it today. In fact, I recently pruned this tree, but I want to talk a little bit about what I did. I haven't kept on top of this tree quite as well as I should have, and in the last summer and then this spring, I've had to do some corrective pruning, and I'll be doing some more corrective pruning this summer after a summer prune after the tree finishes bearing fruit. One of the things I did this year is I have this tree set up so that kind of in the middle it's kind of airy, and it's in a plum tree. It's really kind of a mistake to have branches growing over the central trunk. And this tree kind of has that. It still has that very top branch, which is going to have to go this summer. I'm not taking it out now. If you point that branch right there, that branch has to come out. When I say that, actually, let me point to it again. That branch, not that one, but that one. That's really tall, and it's kind of a pain to get the fruit off of it. And if I ever get a mummified plum on it, it would be really hard to get it off, and that I would need to do to keep brown rot at bay, because this variety does get a little bit of brown rot on the fruit in a wet season. In here, I cleared out several branches that were coming up from right there. Actually, there was about 4 or 5. They didn't produce many flower buds this year, and I went ahead and take them out. These low branches didn't produce much flower buds either, and part of the issue is that it was just all too shady in there. Now what I will do is, you see some water sprouts beginning to start in here, and as they grow, I'm gonna select one on each branch and kind of let it go, because what I'm going to do is it'll pop up and produce long limbs that will be more oriented upwards. We'll fill this space here. Next year, those branches won't flower next year. Hopefully these branches that are kind of low will produce a lot of fruit. I'll let them produce next year and then summer prune them off, and then let the water sprouts become the new branches. What that will do is fill the space with branches, healthier branches, and these real low branches that are actually a little too low, because if they get a really heavy crop, will just drag the ground. We don't want that. Those branches that will come up into the middle here, or up into the space right in here, will be less likely to do that, and would be more oriented up anyway, which is just a better design for the tree. This is, as I'm understanding it, just kind of a good way to maintain a big plum tree. A plum tree that got away from me years ago, and I'm afraid to do much pruning on it, because I'm afraid that if I did, I would kill it. And this is the Mariana tree, and this tree is just way too tall, but I'm not going to do anything about that. Now what I have done is, it used to have lots of little branches right here in the trunk, and that really makes the tree vulnerable to stem canker, because it kind of keeps wet leaves around the tree after it rains, and also black knot, because the little twigs can get black knot, and then the black knot transfer to the tree. Now, I've never had black knot in my plum trees. I think these varieties that are stem canker resistant are super black knot resistant, but you don't want to chance it. As you know, beyond that, I don't plan to do a lot of pruning on this tree unless a branch gets diseased or something, and then of course I would prune it off if that happens. But that's just kind of talking about these plums. I got a good crop of plums in the top of this tree. This tree didn't bloom a whole lot. It overcropped last year and had a light bloom this year. But just kind of looking at it, it still looks like it might be a fair number of plums. In fact, this might be a better crop. It won't be as many plums as last year, but they might be higher quality, and there might be enough of them to get, you know, similar kind of poundage. But we won't know, for a while. But that's all I'm going to talk about today about these plum trees. Talk to you later. God bless. Bye.